Okay, in this class we are going to discuss about the next concept, that is programmed controlled IO. Okay, that means program controlled input output devices. Here the processor repeatedly checks the status flags to achieve the required synchronization between processor and input output devices. Okay, so here always the operation will be performed in between input output devices and processor, right? So there are two mechanisms to handle this input output operations. So what are that mechanisms means to handle that input output operations? So we have two techniques for those. One is DMA technique and another one is interrupt. Okay, so first we have to discuss about the DMA controller. Okay, so how to handle this DMA controller with input output operation, now we'll see here. Okay, so what is meant by DMA and why our computer makes use of this DMA controller? Okay, and what is the advantages of this DMA technique? That all topics we need to discuss in this class. Okay, so this diagram is not a new one to you except one or two things, okay, which has been added here. Okay, already knows this diagram, so except the two or more things, okay, you know already this diagram. Okay, you know that the processor will be available here, okay, and main memory will be available, and there will be a one bus. Okay, and here we have taken the system bus, which is responsible for establishing the communication between the components of our computer. So why we are using system bus here? So this system bus can establish the communication between the components of the computer. That means it will be establish the communication between the internal components of our computer. Okay, so now what are the rest of the things we are having in that? So that is nothing but one is disk. So why we are using here disk? Disk, it will store the data. Okay, so and this is also we can call it as, or it refers as secondary storage or secondary memory. Okay, so and this one is our primary memory. Okay, so this one we can call it as primary memory, and disk we can call it as secondary memory. Okay, so it is clear. Okay, so now coming to the next, we have printer and keyboard. So printer is already we know that is a output device, right, and keyboard is an input device, right, we know that thing, right? So now the new thing that you can see here, that means DMA controller. Okay, so already knows about processor, main memory and printer, keyboard. Okay, disk is nothing but that is a one storage device. So these are all things, system bus, all these the internal components already we knows, that explanation already we knows, but except this DMA controller, this explanation already we knows, right? So with the help of DMA controller, what happens in that? Okay, so if you are using DMA control in our computer, what happens? Okay, now we'll see here. So what is the use of DMA controller and what is direct memory access? DMA is nothing but direct memory access. So what is the use and what is meant by DMA? Now we'll see here. Okay, so in order to understand this one, let us take let us understand first this working of this diagram. Okay, so let us say if you want to use a computer now, okay, or if you want to operate a computer, whenever whenever user use the input output devices of your computer, so then automatically we are typing some matter on the keyboard, right? So that means whenever you want to type matter with the help of keyboard, what happened? So we are, if you want to use the computer, right? So if you want to use computer, or whenever if you want to use the computer, so then automatically first will go with the input device. That means we want to type some matter on the keyboard, that is our input device. That means we are using first input device here. So after using input device, what happened? That means after typing some matter on the keyboard, what happened? Okay, so what happened means after typing some matter on the keyboard, or after typing some matter with the help of keyboard, so where the request will go first. Okay, so what happened next? So that request where will go? Okay, so first compulsory the request will go to the, where will go? The request will go from will go to the processor. Okay, so compulsory the request from input device, so then it will goes to the processor. So once the processor will give the permission, then only the control signal, or then only it will issues the some request signal to the main memory. That means it can send one request signal to the main memory. Okay, so that means whenever the user will enter the some characters on keyboard, what happen? Immediately it will be display on output device. That we knows, general thing we knows, right? So just after typing some matter on keyboard, so directly it will be display on monitor, so that is display on output device, already we knows. But what happened in during that period of time, whenever user enters some characters on the keyboard, so that characters, first of all, that character request will goes to the processor. Okay, then the processor, after taking that request, so processor will go to the, that means processor will send the request to the main memory. Okay, so it will pass to the RAM, or it will pass to the main memory. So from that main memory it will pass to the respective output device. Okay, so after main memory reach that information, then it will be passed to the output device. So in our case the output device is our monitor. Which one is our output device? So we'll see that output, right? So with the help of monitor we can see that. Okay, so that characters will go to the output device. So who is responsible to transfer this information actually from keyboard to processor, processor to main memory to output device? That means input device to processor, then processor to main memory. After that it will reach us to the output device. So then who is responsible to transfer this information? So this bus. Okay, so this bus will be available always. Okay, so the bus can do this thing always. Okay, the bus can only do this thing always. That means input device request will send to the processor with the help of system bus. After that the processor will take that request, then it will be immediately sent to that request to the main memory. So after reach that main memory, it will be passed to the output device. With respect to that output device, it can send it. Okay, so this is a general explanation already we discussed in accessing of IO device. That explanation again I explained here. Okay, so now this explanation already we knows. So any major drawbacks will be there in that? Now we'll see here. So what is the major drawback in this method? Means we have one major drawback. Okay, so what is the drawback in this method we have? Means whenever the user will enter, okay, whenever the user will enter some characters, or whenever user want to use some input devices, or another thing we can say that whenever the user want to communicate with the system, okay, compulsory all the request must go to the where? All the request must go to the processor. Okay, with the help of processor, permissions only given to the, that means with the processor only the permissions will be reached to the next level. Okay, with the help of processor, that means it will be give the only grant permission to the next level. Okay, so that means with the help of processor, permissions only given, then it should pass to the other device. Okay, so every time the processor is involved in that. That is the drawback we are having in this method. Okay, that means processor only involved in these all actions. Okay, so if we remove that processor in between this work, okay, so from input device to processor, processor to main memory, from output device. So that means input output device in between, that means if we remove the processor in between this work, that from input device to output device, what is the big advantage we are having? So if you are using processor, that is a big drawback we are having. Always it will give the permissions, right, to do that work. So that is the drawback, already we said that. Okay, this is the drawback we are having. Okay, if we remove this processor, okay, so if you are removing the processor, if any advantage will be there? Yes, we have one advantage, that is nothing but we will save lot of time and the work will complete it very fast. That is the advantage if you are removing processor in our system. Okay, so that means not in system, if you are not involving processor in every action, so that is the very big advantage we are having, that is nothing but save lot of time. Okay, save lot of time and work will complete it very fast. Okay, so that is a big advantage if you are removing processor in that work. Okay, so that means every time we won't check or we won't fulfill our request, then the work will complete it very fast. Okay, so but the problem is, here one problem will be raised. If you are removing processor, one problem will be raised. What is that problem means? Without processor there is no computer, already we knows that thing, right? So without processor there is no computer. So then what to do? If you want to increase the speed of our communication process, okay, if you want to increase the speed of communication process between an input output devices to main memory, okay, we can't remove that processor also, because if you remove the processor, computer cannot work, right? So then what to do means, there is one solution. We cannot remove the processor, but we are not using processor, that is our main that is our main aim, right? So without processor how can we work? That means how can we use? That means we have one solution, that is nothing but, what is that solution means, no need to involve the processor. There is one hardware module we have, that is known as DMA controller. Okay, instead of processor we are using one hardware module, that is DMA controller. Okay, so DMA controller is a hardware module which we can place it and connect it to the system bus. Okay, which we connected to the system bus, and what happened, whenever an input device want to the request some data, okay, so whenever an input device want to request some data, or whenever the input device want to store some data, okay, instead of that request passing to the processor, this request directly passed to the DMA controller, and DMA controller directly communicated with the main memory instead of processor. That means always first what happened, input device can send the information to the processor, then only the processor will give the permission to that request will be sent to the main memory. But here if whenever the input device want to store some data, directly the DMA controller, that means this request directly passed to the DMA controller, okay, and DMA controller directly communicated with the main memory. Instead of processor we are using DMA controller. So then where we got the speed here? So instead of processor we are using DMA controller, but what is the use here? So the same thing is repeated now, but here the DMA controller advantage is it won't work very slow. Actually processor will work in slow. Okay, so DMA controller it won't work very slow compared to processor. The purpose of DMA controller is to fulfill that request it very fast compared to the processor, because the DMA controller is doing the work on behalf of the processor. Okay, which means processor is available in the computer. Okay, processor is available in the computer, but processor has given the responsibility to the DMA controller to look after all these works. Okay, so what happened, input device want to store the data means that request will be sent to the DMA controller actually. So DMA controller directly dealt with the main memory. But what is the use of DMA controller instead of processor? Just we are using DMA controller, but the same thing is repeated now. So but here, if instead of processor, if you are using DMA control, what is the work, what is the big advantage here means it work very fast, or it is fulfill that request is very fast as compared to the processor, because a DMA controller is doing the work on behalf of the processor, and processor is available in the computer, but it will be give the responsibility, all responsibilities given to the DMA controller. Okay, that's why as a processor not involved during this transfer. Okay, so we call this method as direct memory access. Okay, that's why, so without processor we can with DMA controller we can transfer the information here, right? So that's why we call this method as direct memory access, which means don't think that DMA controller is also doing that same work like processor. Okay, so here DMA controller directly send that input device, whatever the input device will send the data to the main memory. So with the help of DMA controller, the input device request will be directly sent to the main memory, and after that main memory will send the data to the output device, which means there is no involvement of the processor here physically. That's why this method is known as DMA controller. Okay, direct memory access we are having. So here without processor, no, directly this will be involved in that. So that's why we can call it as direct memory access. If we are involving the processor, okay, if processor is involved in every request, so this method is called as the indirect memory access. Okay, so if you are involving the processor in this method, that is called as the indirect memory access. Okay, if without processor we can directly send the request to the main memory with the help of DMA controller, that request we can call it as the direct memory access. Okay, so this direct memory access controller is a hardware module, so which fulfill this request of DMA is our direct memory access controller. Okay. Okay, so and one more thing here we have one is that is in network interface. So this is network interfacing is nothing but suppose if you want to connect the network with the help of LAN port. Okay, if you want to connect the network to the if you want to connect the network to our computer, so then you can use the LAN port. Okay, so suppose if you want to connect network also with the help of LAN port to our computer, you can connect with the help of this network interfacing. So for only connecting the network, so this can help. Okay, so this is the complete explanation about direct memory access.